Welcome students. Welcome to the lecture number 9 of Mysql revision 2. So let's begin. In the previous lecture we have learned about the group by clause. Okay, and you have seen that with the help of the group by clause we can prepare groups from the records present in the table, and then we get the result on the basis of the groups created by us. Okay, so now after group by clause we are learning about the next clause, that is called as having clause. And one important thing about the having clause is that having clause is used with group by clause only. Okay, we can't use having clause individually. Having clause is always used with group by clause. Okay, so let me explain you what is the basic purpose of this having clause. Suppose we have a table of employee, okay, which contain these records. As we have seen that suppose we want to perform this query. The query is that display number of employees and the maximum salary of each department. Okay, so over here it is written each department. So by looking just up to this part of the command, we know that we have to prepare groups as per the department. Okay, now let's read the further question. Such that the department having employees more than 3 will be included only. Okay, so now what does it want? It wants the first the group is created as per the department, but only those department where the number of employees are more than 3 will be included in the result. So now we apply the group by clause with respect to the department. Okay, because over here it is written that we have to show the maximum and we have to show the number of employees and the maximum salary as per the department. So obviously we will group by records as per the department. So when we apply the group by department clause, then what will happen? First, a group of sales will be created, then a group of account will be created, and third, a group of finance will be created, because in our table there are 3 departments. One is sales, accounts and finance, and obviously we have written group by department, so internally system will create groups on the basis of the department. Okay, now the groups are created. What happens then next? If we apply having clause with this, that because as per the condition it is written that we want to see only those groups which are having employees more than 3. Okay, which are having employees more than 3. So that's why we have introduced this having clause with the condition that count star is basically to count the number of records. Okay, so count star should be greater than equal to 3. Okay, so when this having clause is applied on these groups, there are 3 groups, okay, which we get due to this group by department. So we get all these 3 groups because of this group by department. Now once the group is created, then the having clause is applied on these groups. Now let's see the first group, that is sales. Is the number of records in the sales department, is it greater than or equal to 3? Yes. That's why the sales department passes the condition of the having clause, due to which this sales department group is selected. But when we come to the accounts department group, the number of records in the department group is just 2, which does not satisfy the given condition. That's why this group is rejected. Similarly, the finance department also contains only 2 records, which does not satisfy the having clause condition. That's why it is also rejected. Okay, so now we get the result on the basis of this sales department only, right? So let's do one thing. First we execute this command and see what is the pattern for writing the having clause. Okay, so let me first open Mysql. Okay, So now the MySQL screen is open, and first I have to put the password, that is Shadley, and then I have to first activate the database, that is company. Okay, so now the database company is activated, and we know that in the database company we have a table named as employee. Okay, so let's see the condition which is given to us, question which is given to us, that we have to display number of employees and maximum salary. So over here it is given display, so that's why we first write select. Okay, then what we have to display, we have to display the number of employees. Okay, so for counting the number of employees we use count star, comma, and then the maximum salary, for that we have a function named as max, so we use max salary of each department. So over here we get the knowledge that we have to make groups as per the department. So as I told you earlier, that whatever field we have selected for preparing the group, we have to specify that field name in our select clause. Okay, so we have put select department comma count star comma max salary from the name of the from the name of the table is employee, right? Okay, now after that I have to write the group by clause, so it's group by department. Okay, so till we have created the groups as per the department, but you know that we have to add additional clause, that is having, because we have to select only those groups in which the number of employees is more than 3. Okay, more than, or let's say more than or equal to 3. Okay, so having bracket, and within the bracket we first write count star greater than equal to 3. Okay, so you know what will happen, let me expand it first. Now first this, when this query executes, okay, so what will happen first the group by department. Okay, so initially the table is divided into different groups on the, because of this group by department clause. Okay, once the groups are created, then the having clause is applied on each and every group, and those groups who satisfy this condition will be included in the result. So as you see that over here, sales department only satisfies the condition, accounts and finance department didn't satisfy this condition. That's why in the result we see only the sales department. Okay, so let's press enter, and now you can see that we are getting the department name as sales and the number of employees as 3, and the maximum salary is 35,200. Okay, so this is basically the answer of this question. But in this question you have to rectify it, you have to write more than or equal to 3. Okay, you just add this point over here, that employees, having employees more than or equal to 3 will be included only, right? So just make the small change over here. So now let's move to the next thing. Let's do some questions in which this having clause is used. Okay, so the first question is that display average salary of each post. Okay, so there are the various posts like officer, clerk, manager, so we have to find the average salary of each post. So we have to find the average salary of all the clerks, average salary of all the managers, all the officers. Now there is one more condition given over here, in which the maximum salary is more than 20,000. So it means we have to include only those posts in which the maximum salary is more than 20,000. Okay, so let's do this question. So display, so we have written select, and as you see that over here it is written each post. Okay, it is written each post, so it means that we have to prepare group on the basis of post. So we will write post, comma, then average salary to AVG salary, okay, from the table employee, and then we have to prepare group as per the post, so group by post. Okay, now after that there is one more case given that in which the maximum salary is more than 20,000. So obviously we have to allow only those groups in which the maximum salary is more than 20,000. So what we will do, we will write having clause over here, because we have to apply this condition on each and every group which is formed due to the group by post. Okay, so having max salary that is greater than 20,000. Okay, so we have prepared the condition, statement, and the statement is that select post comma avg salary from employee, group by post, because over here it is written each post, so group by post, and having max salary in greater than 20,000. So all the groups which is created due to the group by post option, it will select only those groups in which the maximum salary is more than 20,000. So let's see what is the result. So over here manager will get the salary, manager and officer record is shown. Okay, the average salary in manager, average salary and officer average salary is this, right? Okay, so basically what we have written in the max and the having clause, that max salary is more than 20,000, right? So let me check one thing. Okay, the manager post is included, because if the average salary is still 26,700, then obviously the maximum salary is average is more than 20,000. That's why its result is shown. But in case of officer, the average is not more than the maximum 20,000. Let's see whether there is any record in the officer in which the salary is more than 20,000. So what we will do, we'll write a command select star from employee where post is equal to officer. So let's just check that, now these are the records of the officer. So out of these officers record, the maximum salary Sonali is getting 21,500. This is the maximum salary, and this maximum salary is more than 20,000. That's why the group of officers is also included over here. But when we check whether the group of clerk, why the group of clerk is not included over here, so let's check the clerk. In the clerk there is a salary is 15,600 and 7,000. None of the salary is more than 20,000. So that's why clerk is not included in our result. Okay, so this is basically the answer of our question, that group by maximum salary greater than 20,000. Okay, so this is the question and this is the answer of the above question. Okay, so you can note it down also. Now let's move to the next question. Next one, display number of employees of sales department in each post. So over here we have to show the number of employees, okay, but only those employees which are from the sales department only. But obviously in the sales department there are some officer, there are some clerk, there are some managers, so that's why it is written in each post. So we understand that we have to apply group by on the post. Okay, but there is one more condition given, if their average salary is between 15,000 to 20,000. Okay, so let's perform this query. All right, so let's go down so that we can write the command. Okay, so now we got the Mysql prompt. So let's write the command. For the it is written display, so we will write select. Okay, as we know that we are going to create groups on the basis of post, that's why we included post, comma. then it is given number of employees. Okay, so for the number of employees it is count star. Anything else? No, we have to show only the number of employees. Okay, so first we have written the post because we are creating group on the basis of post, and then the count star from the table employee. Okay, but over here it is given that only sales department employees are included, so that's why we have written where department is equal to sales. Okay, so where department is equal to sales. And now after that we have to create group. So up to this command, what will happen? First the sales department employees are obtained, then group by post having AVG salary, average salary. Okay, should be between 15,000 to 20,000. So average salary between, as we know that there is a between clause also, so between 15,000 and 20,000. Okay, so we have written the command. So what will, how this command will execute? First, the all the records where the department is sales will be obtained, okay, from the table employee. First, all those records where the department is sales is obtained. Okay, now when we obtain the sales department employees, then that sales department employee records will be grouped on the basis of post. Okay, so all the sales department managers are in the separate groups, all the sales department clerks create another group, and all the sales department officers are in another group. So 3 groups are created on the basis of the post, but only from the sales department. Okay, so once all the groups are created, then it will find that in each of the group where the average salary is between this and this, then only that group will be selected. So let's see what will be the result. So you can see that in this we are getting only officers. So first it obtained the records of all the employees where department is sales. Once it obtained all the sales department employee record, then all those records will be divided into groups on the basis of post, and the group which satisfies this condition of having clause will be included in the result. So out of all the posts like officer, manager and whatever clerk, only the officer group satisfies the given condition. Okay, so we got the name of the post and the number of employees in that post, right? So this is the answer of the second question. I hope you understand this. Okay, so let's move to the third question. Yeah, the third question is that display total number of officers in each department. So over here it is given total number of officers. So it means we have to use count star for counting the total numbers, but we have to count only total number of officers. So in the where clause we have to specify officers in each department. So over here what we have to do, we have to first get the records of all the officers, and then we have to make groups on the basis of department. So all the sales department officers record get stored in one group, all the finance department officer record get stored in another group, all the accounts department officer records get stored in another group. So once all the groups are created, then we will find that which of the group having the total salary less than 20,000. Okay, so let's write the command for this question. So select, right? So over here it is written each department, so we know that we have to create groups on the basis of department. So first we will write department, comma, then count star, because we have to show the total number of officers. Okay, so from employee where post is equal to officer. Okay, so what will happen? First all the records of the officer is obtained, then group by department. Okay, so once all the record of the officer is obtained, then group by department, what will do, it divide all the officers record on the basis of the different departments. Okay, so once all the group is created, then we apply having clause to obtain only, to use only those groups where the total salary, that is sum of salary, sum of salary, okay, should be less than 20,000. So less than 20,000. Okay, so now the command is ready. So let's press enter, and you can see that we get the result that there are only 2 departments. Okay, so how this command will be executed? First, it will obtain all the records of the officer. Once all the record of the officer is obtained, then among those records, various groups are created on the basis of department. Once all the group are created, then they test this condition that sum of salary less than 20,000 in each group, and whatever group and whosoever group satisfy the given condition, they will include it in the result. So only these account and sales department satisfy the condition, that's why they are included over here. Okay, so you can just note down the solution of this question. Okay, so now so far we have done group by clause and the having clause, and we have also covered many questions of group by and having clause. So let me give you a brief introduction about the group by clause and the having clause. Okay, so let me give you some definition of these two. Group by, the first thing about the group by clause is that the group by clause is a SQL command. Okay, yeah, definitely a group by is basically a SQL command that is used to group rows. Okay, so when we apply the group by clause, what will it do? It will prepare groups, and each groups, it contains some records, some rows. Okay, that is used to group rows that have the same value for the specified field. So as you see that over here we have written group by department. Let me take some easier example. Okay, now over here it is written that post and average salary from employee group by post. Okay, so what this group by is doing, over here it is written the group by clause is a SQL command that is used to group rows that have the same value for the specified field. Over here the specified field is post. Okay, so those records which are having the same post, like officer, all the officer record will be stored in one group, all the clerk record will be stored in another group, all the manager record will be stored in another group. So why they are stored in another group? Because all those records having the same value for the specified field. Okay, so all those records where the post is same will be included in the group. Okay, so what this group by clause? Group by clause will prepare group of rows. Okay, it will prepare the group of rows that have the same value for the specified field. Okay, now the second point is that the group by clause is used in the select command. Obviously the group by, so far we have seen many questions of the group by clause, and we have seen that the group by clause is only used with the select command. Okay, so group by clause is used in the select statement and is generally used along with aggregate functions. So you know that there are aggregate functions like max, min, avg, sum, count. So these are basically aggregate functions, and you know that in most of the questions what we have done so far, we include aggregate function in each of the question. Okay, so basically that's why the group by clause is generally used along with the aggregate functions. Okay, to produce summary reports from the database. So what is this summary reports from the database? Let me explain you about this summary report. You can see that over here what we have written, that obviously the group is made by on the basis of post, right? But what they have done, they have selected posts from each group and find the average salary of each group and shown to you. So this is basically a report in which we are getting the name of the post and the average salary in that post from each post. Okay. So that's why we are, in this case, we have seen many examples, we have done many questions. So you can see that in every question we are getting a report. Okay. So you can see that when we apply this question, group by post having average salary 15,000, we are getting a report. Group by department having some salary like this, we are getting a report. Okay. So whatever questions we have done in previously with the group by clause, you can see that whenever we apply the group by clause and see the result, we got a summarized result. Okay, we got the summarized result. Let me show you one thing. Suppose if I written select, okay, department, comma, max salary, okay, comma, min salary, right, comma, count star from employee group by department. Okay, so once I write this command, I get a summary. Okay, so I get the summary about each and every department, that yes, in the accounts department the maximum salary is 18,200, minimum salary is this, and the number of employees working in account department is this. So how I am getting this result? Just because of this group by. So group by is help us to give us the summary. Okay, so the group by clause is used in the select statement and is generally used along with aggregate function to produce summary reports from the database, right? And the last thing is that the queries that contains the group by clause are called grouped queries. Okay, so the queries in which the group by clause is used, they are called as grouped queries, and they return a single row from each and every group formed by the group by clause. Obviously you can see that over here when we create a group by department, so obviously the groups are created on the basis of department, but from each department they have summarized the data and give us a single row as a result. That from account department they find the maximum salary, minimum salary and number of employees and gives a single row, single result from the accounts department group. And similarly from the finance department group they obtain a single row result, that is this, and from the sales department group they obtain this single row as a result. Okay, so these are the basically points with the group by clause, so you can note it down, right? And now along with the group by clause we have already studied about the having clause, so let's see that one also. So having clause, what are the basic points related to the having clause? The first point is that a having clause in SQL specifies that an SQL select statement should use only those groups where aggregate values meet the specified condition. Okay, so what this having clause will do? The having clause specify the SQL statement to use only those groups. Obviously due to the group by clause there are many groups created, but having clause indicates the SQL to use only those groups which satisfies the given condition, specified condition. Okay, so as you have seen that, okay, the groups are created by the group by clause, but only those groups are included in the result which satisfies the specified condition mentioned in the having clause. Okay, after that the one more thing is that the having clause filters the data. Okay, the having clause filters the data on the group row but not on the individual row. Obviously the having clause works only on the groups. Okay, once we created groups by the group by clause, then having clause is applied on the groups, they are not applied on the individual record. Like where clause can be used, that where can be applied on the individual record. but having clause is used only on the groups, right? So these are the basic points related to the group by clause as well as the having clause, right? So so far we have studied two DML commands. Okay, we are learning about the DML commands, that is data manipulation command, and among the data manipulation command we have learned about the insert command, that is used to insert records in the table, and the second command is basically the select command that we have studied so far. And now we are going to study the two more commands that are present in the DML category, and the third one is update command. Okay, so the first one is the insert command, the second one is the select command that we have already studied. So now we are going to move on to the third category, that is update command. Okay, so what is the purpose of this update command? So this is basically the definition of the update command is that this command is used to make changes in the value present in the table. So the purpose of this command is used to make changes, right, in the values present in the table. So whatever value present in the table, the update command allow user to make changes in those value. Okay, what is basically the syntax of this update command? The syntax is that you have to write update, okay, then you have to write the table name, right? As I told you earlier that in the syntax, if anything written within the angle brackets like this, these are the angle brackets, okay, so anything written within the angle bracket, it means that that value can be changed in the command. Obviously update word will remain the same, but obviously over here we will write the name of the table which we want to update, so that can be changed, right? So set, we have to write set as it is, then field name, obviously we have to include the field name which we want to update, right? So the command is basically update, then you will write the field table name, then set, after that you will write the field name equal to the new value what you want to assign to this field name, then where, and within the where clause you will write the condition. Okay, because where clause is basically used to specify the condition in the query. So if a condition is required, then we use the where clause, but if there is no condition required, then there is no need to use the where clause, right? So this is basically the syntax. So let us do some questions of update command also. So my first case is that suppose it is given that to increase salary of all employees by 1000. Okay, so now currently the salary of all employees, suppose if I display the detail of all employees, select star from employee. Okay, so this is the basically details of all the employees. Now what is the case given to me that I have to increase salary of all employees, this all employees, by 1000. Okay, so I want to increase the salary of all employees by 1000. So let us see how we can do this question. So I will write update, then the name of the table, that is employee, set, we have to set the salary field, so that's why I have written salary. So what will be the new value of the salary? First the existing value of the salary plus 1000, so this will be the new value of the salary. So that's why I have written update employee, then set, then the field name which we want to update, that is salary, equal to, now what is the new updated value? That is the salary plus 1000, so existing salary plus 1000. So let me press enter. So okay, the query is successful. So let's see the records of all the employees. So now you can see that the record of all employees are changed, right? Let's see, let's compare just 2-3 records. Over here you can see the Alicia salary is 18,200, but after updation Alicia's salary has become 19,200. Sonali 21,500, now it's 22,500. Anshika 15,600, it's 16,600, and Akansha 7,600, now it becomes 8,600. So you can see that it updates, it changed the salary of all the employees by 1000. Okay, so it increases the salary of all employees by 1000. So this is the case one, right? So in this case you have to increase, you have to make modification in each and every record. But suppose the case number 2 says that increase salary of sales employee by 10%. Okay, so now we have to increase the salary by 10%, but we don't have to increase the salary by 10% of all employees. No, we don't want to increase the salary of all employees. We have to increase salary of only sales department employees. So let's see how we can write this query. Okay, so this is the this is my SQL prompt. Okay, and now I will write the query. So update, then simply the name of the table, that is employee, set. The field name is, obviously we are going to increase the salary, so that's why we have to use the salary field. So salary is the field. Now what I want to increase, update, I have to increase the salary of each of employees by 10%. So I have written the existing salary plus salary into 10 by 100. So whatever be the 10% of the salary, that is calculated by this expression. Okay, so this expression will calculate the 10% of the salary. So whatever be the 10% of the salary, it get added into the original salary. Okay, the current salary is this, so whatever be the 10% of the salary, that is added into this. Okay, but there is one more situation given in this question, that is of sales employee. So we have to increase the 10% only for the sales department employee. So we will write the where clause, where department is equal to sales. Okay, so now what will happen, it will not increase the salary of all the employees by 10%, it will increase the salary of only sales department employee by 10%. So when I press enter, it shows me 3 rows affected. So let me cross check the result. Select star from employee and let's compare it with the previous result. So over here I have written department is equal to sales. So let's check the sales department employee results only. Okay, so the first one is Kashish. Right now the salary of Kashish is 16,200, but you can see that now the salary of Kashish becomes 17,820. So whatever be the 10% of this 16,200, that will be added in the salary of Kashish. And next employee who's working in the sales department, that is Manas. So right now Manas salary is 36,200, but after modification, after increasing by 10%, his salary becomes 39,820. Okay, and the next employee is Akansha. She is getting a salary of 8,600, but after increment now her salary becomes 9,460. So you can see that only sales department employees record are added, because Anshika's salary is 16,600 and it's still 16,600. It is not increased. Why? Because she is not working in the sales department. Okay, so one more case is there, that increase salary 8,000 and change post to officer of employee code 107. So till now we have seen that only one field is updated. Okay, in both the above these cases, in case number 1 and case number 2, we have seen that only one field is updated, that is in this case only in this case also salary is updated, and in the case number 2 also salary is updated. So only one field is updated. But in the case number 3, we have to increase salary by 8,000. So there is one field, that is salary, we have to change. And another thing is that we have to change post to officer. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to change salary to 8,000. Okay, salary of employee by 8,000, and also we want to change the post of the employee to an officer. And these two changes are done on the employee whose code number is 107. So in this query we are updating two fields of a particular record. So let's do this query also. Okay, so Yes. So let's do it. Update. Okay. The name of the table is employee. EMPLOY. Employee. Set. The first thing that we have to increase salary by 8,000. So salary is equal to existing salary plus 8,000, comma. And the another thing that we have to do, we have to change post to officer. So post is equal to officer. Okay. So these are the two changes that we have to do, and we have to do these changes in which record? The employee code whose code number is 107. So we have written where e code is equal to 107. So we have written the condition. Okay. So these are the two fields, salary and post, which we are going to update, and but basically update is going to be only the e code 107 record. So let's press enter and we can see that we are getting the result as query is okay. So let's check whether the work is done or not. So now the 107 employee is basically Akansha, sorry. Right now her salary is 9,460 and his post is right now clerk. But you can see that after modification the Akansha's salary becomes 17,460 and her post is also changed from clerk to officer. Okay, and only Akansha record is updated. None other record is updated. Let's check the record of Sonali. Her salary is 22,500 and post is officer. So you can see that it is still the same in both the cases. Only the record of Akansha is updated. Okay. So these are the three cases which we have learned about the update command. So next command is basically delete command. And now what is the purpose of the delete command? So delete command is used to remove just one thing, just wait. Okay, so this command is basically to remove the records. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to remove the records from the table. Okay, so now let's check this delete command, how we can use it. The syntax is very simple. We have to write the delete, then from, and after that we have to write the table name. Okay, so when we execute command up to this portion, then what will happen? All the records from the table get deleted. But suppose if we have written where clause, then what will happen? Only those records will be deleted which satisfies the given condition. So let me check this command also with the help of some cases. The first case number is 1 is that remove all records from the table employee. So what we have to do, we have to remove all records from the table employee. Okay. Let's do one thing. I simply create a table just to test our commands. Okay. Let me check whether there is one more table in this database or not to show tables. Okay, so there is one more table, that is sample, and if we see the records present in the table sample, so we have 3 records with us. Okay, so let's see that this is a record of some employees. Okay, so what we will do, remove all records from the table employee. So right now, in spite of this table employee, I'm using the table sample. Okay, because we have to run the second case also now, so that's why we want records in the employee table. So let's run this first command, that is select star, sorry, we have to delete records, so delete from, the name of the table is sample. So once we execute this command, what will happen? All the records from the table sample will be deleted. So let's press enter, query okay, 3 rows affected. And how can we can confirm that the records are deleted or not? Let's write this command, select star from sample. So when we press this write this command and press enter, we get empty set. Why empty set? Because all the records from the sample table is now deleted because of this delete command. So when we write the select star from employee, so no record will be shown to us. Okay. Let's move to the next command. Next question. Remove all sales department record from table employee. So now in this case, we have to remove records from the table employee, but not all the records. We have to remove only the records of sales department employees. So let's do this command also. Okay. So remove all sales department records. So we will write delete from the table name as employee. Now over here we have given a condition that where department, because we have to remove only the sales department employees now. So department is equal to sales, right? So when we press enter, query OK, 3 rows affected. Let's see the records of the employees. Select star from employee. So now you can see that when we write the command select star from employees, so now we are getting only 4 records. Why 4 records? Because all the sales department employee records are removed from this table. So you can see that over here accounts and finance department records are available. So all the sales department records are removed from the table. Okay. So these are basically the DML commands we have studied. The first DML command we have studied is insert. The second one is the select. Third one is the update, and the fourth one is the delete command. So these 4 commands are under the DML category. Okay. So that's all for the today's lecture. I hope you understand each and every point of this lecture. Thank you very much and have a nice day.